I'm just going to say it. For me, for my money, for my 2 cents, Dead Man Down is the best movie I've seen so far in 2013. It's a better and naughtier and more complicated movie than even Steven Soderbergh's film Side Effects, which I already thought was pretty terrific. It features a good performance from Colin Farrell, so that's something. Noomi Rapace and Isabelle Huppert and Dominic Cooper and Terrence Howard, and it's a good cast, well-cast film. But here's what I really want to talk about. The script is okay, but not really terrific. But what is really terrific is the direction by Niels Oplev, who directed the first installment of the European Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which famously brought Noomi Rapace to kind of prominence. This is a much better directed film than that. This is a really well-directed movie. This is what happens when a really, really great director takes a really ordinary piece of material and just kind of amplifies it so beautifully. Here's what's cool. Mostly in movies that have drama and have action, the drama scenes and the action scenes they're sort of separate. There's a sense, a kind of palpable sense that you're going into and out of an action scene. Not so much here. There's no sense of when you are slipping in and out of these scenes. You are in a dramatic scene that is working really well, and suddenly it is an action scene, and then suddenly it is not. In this incredibly fluid, incredibly mature, incredibly proficient, satisfying way. So it's so worth seeing to see somebody so tightly control tone and pacing and performance and staging. The action in this movie is beautifully staged. It is so succinct and subtle and great and incredibly satisfying to watch if you're a fan of just the technical craft of thrillers. So, watching something instead. You know, it's always a hard problem when you really like a film for these segments to come up with something else to watch. So rather than, so I will come up with something that is a way better movie than this, because it's probably one of my, top 25 films that I've ever seen. And but that's no reflection on me not liking this movie. I really like Dead Man Down. The movie I'm going to mention instead, though, is Gaspar Noé's Irreversible, which is another movie about, broadly, about personal revenge, which is basically what Dead Man Down is about. And that personal revenge being taken to some fairly extreme places. Irreversible is sort of famously the movie that has the 20-minute rape scene in it. So if you Google the phrase Irreversible, that's about the first hit. But it's a way, way, way better movie than that. What I like is when a film goes further, much further, than you think it can go. And Irreversible does that constantly. It's also the only personal revenge, rape, horrible, awful movie that has, although twisted, kind of a weird happy ending. If you haven't seen Irreversible yet, most people my age have seen it, but if you haven't and this leads you to it, that's more's the better. In both cases, and in all cases, it's usually better with films like this not to know too much going in. Irreversible is incredibly satisfying when you watch and don't know what will happen. So I won't spoil it.